What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Slate Sanctuary, and today I'm coming back to you with a SS series video all about what is intuition. I know it's crazy because a lot of people have no clue what intuition is, or if they do know it, they just think it's some mumbo jumbo shit that's just made up or not really real because it's not tangible. However, I'm here to debunk that myth. Okay, intuition is completely solid, 100%. If you don't trust me, trust the entrepreneur of one of the best companies in the world, Steve Jobs. He wrote, in his speeches, talked heavily about the intuition and about how good it is for, your business mindset, your health mindset. I mean, leaders all over the world talk about how powerful the intuition is. So if you don't want to take it from my little perspective, you can take it from their grandiose perspective. But okay, so to get into it, what is the intuition? To start off, your intuition is your emotions, okay? This is a big concept that I feel like even like a lot of people who have, some form of understanding about the intuition still struggle with, because quite frankly, the intuition is the emotions, the internal world. And so that's why when people say listen to your emotions, they think it's like a little voice inside your head. Now, sometimes it can compute to that, but ultimately it is an emotion that derives words from it if you are so lucky. But most of the time, it's a gut feeling, especially if you don't really meditate, if you're not really in tune with your emotions and your inner self. It can be more difficult to understand exactly how your intuition speaks to you. So, but a lot of people take it like when they first start experiencing intuition, it's a gut feeling or like any type of feeling throughout the body. Like for me, I know specifically it comes to my neck. Like I always say, when I know I start lying to myself or saying things that are not true, it literally feels like somebody has their hand around my throat, and it's kind of creepy, but it also reminds me to start being honest. I mean, it's just an issue I used to deal with because I wasn't always honest with myself, and even if I was, when I was around other people, sometimes I'd change my stories around just a little bit, just to enhance them a little bit, not to enhance them, but to manipulate it in my favor. And ultimately, my intuition always spoke to me and said, hold up, you're not telling the truth no more, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the intuition is the divine feminine. So where the divine masculine perspective is more so the logical, the tangible, things that you can hold, see, like proof or facts. The divine feminine is that the intuition, the feeling, the emotions, the active allowing things to happen instead of trying to go force things to happen or to need proof to believe. It's just to have belief because of how you feel, okay? Now, I just wanted to talk about why people are not in tune with their emotions, or why we have this issue around the intuition. And it's because, it can't be proven, and it also has to it lies in that realm of mysticism and tarot and esotericism, and a lot of people do not like it because of tradition and religion, because they put things in boxes, and the intuition isn't something that can be proven, especially not to a large group of people, not unless you run some type of large scale study, even though they have been done. I'm gonna quote Mind Valley on this because when I was doing their program, I did see their studies they had done around intuition. But that's not the point. The point is the divine feminine, and intuition is shunned because it can't be proven. And people, especially masculines and men, they always say you can't rely on your emotion, because in the masculine perspective, emotion makes you weak. It makes you vulnerable. It makes you susceptible to being stepped upon by people who are unemotional. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the status quo for a lot of men is to be unemotional, because it's perceived as weak or lack of masculinity. And it's totally bogus, because you can definitely be masculine and be in touch with your intuition. And the whole thing about intuition is it's the other half of you, where you have that one half that's your logical side, the divine masculine. You also have your divine feminine, the intuition. And it ultimately just improves you as a human being, because you're able to notice the subtle signs, or basically act out of your heart space while also being logical, and thus making better decisions for yourself and having better outcomes. You know what I'm saying? It's like a power within you that you have yet to awaken, and it will ultimately, escalate you way higher than you will ever, imagine yourself to be, especially with discernment, decision making, even creativity and spontaneity. Creativity is the divine feminine. It is the wisdom, and it can come through, more likely when you're happy, when you're in a state of believing and acceptance and self-confidence. You know what I'm saying? These are some qualities that really help your intuition speak to you. But ultimately, if you really wanted to strengthen your intuition or get in touch with it, I recommend meditating. A lot of people don't like meditating because they feel like it's pointless, like it doesn't do anything, or because you're just sitting there still, or it's incredibly difficult because their mind keeps running. But like anything, you have to work at it to make it stronger. I mean, like you go into the gym, if you're weak, we've all been there. If you first day in the gym, not having done no type of workout, you don't know what you're doing. Of course you're weak then. You don't really know what you're doing. But as you go through the months, the days, the years, however long, because working out is really good over a long time span. You can't just get to that really strong, like a perfect physique in no time at all. You know what I'm saying? It takes work, it takes time, it takes effort, just like the intuition. It's like a mental muscle that you have to keep working out through meditation, through mindfulness, through any type of introspective practice. So it really does not matter what you do as long as you are being physical in the present moment and thinking, really counting every thought that you have in your mind. So not letting anything go. That's why I also recommend writing things down. If you really want to strengthen your intuition, I at least say write for 10 minutes a day. Literally whatever flows to you. It does not matter if you're just stuck. It doesn't matter if you're writing gibberish, things that don't really seem like they make sense. Just keep writing about 10 minutes a day and allow it to flow on the paper. Because when you're writing, you're busy, worrying about how each letter looks, and you basically allowing your hand to flow. And that way you're not interrupted by your inner self, or not your inner self, but your inner ego that kind of limits your voice, or, likes to think about things before you say them just to be sure that you're not going to be judged. But if you're writing them, you can always, erase, go back, fix things, but you ultimately let that pen flow. And the truth will come out when you start to write, because you're not even worried about what you're thinking about. You're worried about the action of writing itself. So it's a great tool to let your intuition speak to you, as well as meditation. I will do a whole different video about meditation where you are able to, shut that mind off and go within. Yeah, but just to wrap this video up, I just wanted to say, definitely bonus tips on how to let that intuition speak. I know I touched on it a little bit earlier, but really being high vibing, enjoying yourself, expressing yourself, being happy, it allows intuition to speak to you, because, when you're upset, you're not as able to receive, downloads and information from your higher self, because you're so stuck in a negative state of mind that's all your mind is thinking about. It's focused on the hurt, the pain, everything that's bad in your life. But when you're happy, you are able to receive, blessings out of nowhere, because you're not focused on any one thing. You are just like in the moment, and whatever comes in the moment, you're focused on that currently. Versus when you're sad, you're usually focused on the past or the future, depending on what you're worried about and you're thinking about constantly. When you're enjoying yourself and you're happy, you really do focus on each thing as they come. And so every little, intuition, every little idea that hits you, you can look into it, and have further confidence in it, because you're already in a state of acceptance, of euphoria. So definitely helps if you're around other people or doing things that you like to do to, raise your vibration, your happiness, as well as being patient, because a lot of us, try to force things to come to us a little bit too fast. If we say you guys have writer's block and you're a writer and you're just struggling, you're sitting there like, oh, I can't think. You're focused on the thing that you can't think. You can't even focus on what you actually are interested in. And I know what writer's block, it's very real. So, if you ever do have writer's block and you need that intuition to speak to you, just step away from it for a minute. Eat something or read something that you're interested in, or talk to somebody who you like talking to. That'll get the cogs turning again. But it's like basically being at a stoplight and trying to tell it, turn green, turn green. Like, it's not gonna turn green just because you screaming at it or you looking at it and staring at it. Like, no, The second that you tear your awareness away from what it is you're trying so desperately to figure out, then the cogs can start moving in your favor again, because then you'll start seeing things from an enlightened perspective, and you won't be focused on it, and thus it'll be free to flow. So definitely do not force it. Allow it to come to you. Be patient, as well as be grateful. That's another great way to raise your vibe, is to start being grateful for everything you do have, and that'll raise your vibrations, and that way you can look at things from a very much more optimistic sense, and keep working towards your highest good. But yeah, this is all I had for intuition. I know I didn't explain it the best way, but I'm just doing my best, and I'm probably going to add to this later. But let me know how y'all feel about it. If y'all know what the intuition is, if y'all got anything to add, hit them comments, because I appreciate it, and I'd like to see what y'all got to say. And like, share, subscribe, because it helps me out, and I appreciate it. I hope I see y'all soon. Thank you.